Okay, so it's your job to know a lot about a light bulb and make like a super rad journal entry today. Great. I don't think these yellow glasses are going to do it for us. So let's go red. Now, when you're making this entry, be sure you're really thinking about how you're going to define things. How are you going to make sure that you know why each part is worth writing about? We could be writing about a lot of different parts, but we're focusing on 4. So let's dig in. I really got everything I need with just a blank sheet of paper and some markers. First, I'm going to draw the light bulb. You can draw it the way I do. That's fine. I like to just do 2 straight lines, kind of a line down. I usually will go ahead and draw a nice big bulb. Then I'll separate the parts. Now, the most important thing that you probably already noticed about a light bulb is that there's this part that glows. We call this the filament. The filament is a thin piece of wire. In the light bulbs we're using, it's made out of tungsten. It's usually tungsten, which is a type of metal that gets very bright when electricity is run through it. So the whole part of a light bulb is to make that filament safe and to make sure that electricity can run through the filament. How does the electricity get into the light bulb? Well, it gets in through these 2 different contact points. And I'm going to highlight them in gray. So the screw part, one of the 2 metal parts that we pay attention to, is on the side. And that can let electricity in. That can be a contact point. And there's one more. It's on the bottom. And this is why I like to have you say that the important parts of a light bulb are the side and the bottom. Okay, so we've defined some important parts. We've done the filament, and we've done the contact points. We need to talk about how the electricity goes from these contact points to the filament, to this very important thin metal wire, which gets very bright and a little hot when electricity goes through it. Now, there are thin wires inside the light bulb, and you can look for them, and they connect the filament to the 2 contact points, 1 to each point. I'll draw them in blue. In real life, they are metal colored, silver, E. 1 goes to the side, and 1 goes to the bottom. And that should make sense. That way electricity can travel through the light bulb. And so I will call these internal wires. And their job is, of course, to connect the filament to the outside or the contact points. So what's the last part that I haven't really talked about? Well, of course, the glass bulb. Now, depending on the type of light bulb, the glass bulb can be a little different. Sometimes your glass bulb is just a thin piece of glass, and then there's no air inside to help the filament stay safe. Now, filament gets so hot, it could actually, burn if there was oxygen. But we usually remove the oxygen. In some light bulbs, larger ones, they put a special gas in there that cannot burn. We just need to remember that the glass bulb is there to help make sure that the filament doesn't burn up. I guess I'll label my glass bulb with blank. Well, that's a light bulb. I can't wait to see how you go ahead and make your awesome journal entry. You'll notice for mine, I have a good title, How a Light Bulb Works. I've labeled all the parts of a light bulb, and I have an explanation for each one and how it's so important. Now let me write out in very clear terms for you one important word for filament. It's made of tungsten. That's a special metal. Can't wait to see what you write.